Hello, you guys. Welcome back. This is take two because 5 seconds into recording, we were playing a fool. We were having the mic fall over, or the mic wasn't on. The camera fell over. Like we had to hit the reset button. Um, this is our guest episode of the month. So if you guys are here for Gavriella, hello, welcome to our space. This is her second time on the pod, so like returning guest, which we love.
Friend of
Like friend
show.
of show, how iconic. I feel like I've been out of the groove as far as like recording because of life. So it feels like really fun to have my iced coffee, sit with a microphone, get into the hot tea of it all.
Mhm.
But why don't we give, if you guys are a new listener here, let's just give them like a little rundown of who we are, what we do over here. If you're a fan favorite, you're an OG, you guys know the drill. But we gotta make the newbies feel welcomed, okay? We're not a space where we're just gonna assume you know everything about us. Let me tell you everything about me. Let's
You
hear
going
it from,
first?
yeah, you, because now I've been talking for a while.
Okay, while I'm talking, can you answer Gavriella email?
Yes, yes. Tech support over here.
Literally. So I am one half of the podcast of Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. Depending on the day, I'm the kind of hot. Depending on the other day, I'm the kind of healthy. Just depends how you catch us. But I am a women's health coach, and I work with women that are 50 and up, that are menopausal, that I want to have a sustainable way of living. They're tired of doing the extremes. That is who I work with. There's also, we'll throw in the show notes. I have two different guides, one for over a dozen recipes, and then I have another guide for a 10-day workout program you could do at home in your PJs. So forward that to your mom, forward that to your aunt, your grandma, whoever who needs to be doing this. And honestly, if you're in your 20s and 30s, these are great places to start as well. But that is I guess we could add to the resume, and we'll probably do this. This episode comes out in like 2 months, so probably beforehand.
Yeah.
Someone called me an influencer last night at my solo date. So I guess you could call me a little bit of an influencer in the Pittsburgh area. Also, still rocking my nails from the last event I went to, and I'm forever a nail girl now. I'm like, this is it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
This is the way. This is the life.
Mm-hmm.
But that's about me, Allie.
I am so I apologize. I was emailing, so I literally did not hear one thing you said. I heard you
Okay.
talking, but if you asked me, like, if I had to take a test, wouldn't know a damn thing.
You
I
would
can
fail.
assume, but yeah. So my name is Allie. I am a women's health and fitness coach, specifically for first-time moms, mom with littles, because the overwhelm that y'all face, you are not just making decisions for yourself, you are making decisions for the whole house, for these tiny humans. You are keeping them alive, right? Like that is the tea. And so when it comes to your postpartum health and your postpartum weight loss and wanting to feel confident, right? Like we're not in the culture of bouncing back. We are in the culture of rebuilding and rediscovering yourself because once you cross that threshold into motherhood, you are changed. And so that means your routine, as far as your health and fitness goes, needs to change. And that's where I come in. I love working with first time moms and moms with littles because I have over 10 years of experience nannying, probably closer to 15. And so I love to be able to understand what you are experiencing and be able to help you through it. And if you want to hear a little tea as far as like my life, it's not really tea, but we would be getting deep down here. You're going to want to stick with this podcast because, girl, I am far more relatable to things than you probably even imagine. Whoever is listening right now, you're probably like, once I talk about it, you'll be like, oh shit, I have completely been there. And so, that's just a little tease. We gotta use our life to get y'all to stay on this podcast. Am I right? Like,
I mean, I guess I left out. Me and Allie have been BFFs through quite literally everything.
everything, a
From
lot.
me getting engaged and then having a wedding,
So weird.
and then deciding if I'm going to leave my husband, and then getting divorced, and then dating for the first time, and then breaking up twice with the same guy. I did not take him back, but I broke up with him twice. and then back into dating. Allie has been there. I was at her wedding, all the things. I should have been in it.
It's
I'm
true.
kidding.
It's true. All of the, and it's, guys, the weirdest part about this, again, if you're new to the squad over here, we have only met in person 3 times or been together. I shouldn't say met in person, but been together. Is that not the weirdest? Maybe, yeah,
Three?
3. Yeah.
Oh no.
So weird. Like, so corny boots. We are literally a statistic of like meeting people online. It's
We're like
fine.
90 Day Fiance.
We are 90-day fiancé friendship over here. Which is kind of iconic because the truth of it all is like there are so many people like in person in your life that get you to a level, but then there is this layer where I think the being physically together removed this layer of maybe getting having to like I don't know, this awkwardness. You know, when you're meeting somebody new and there's like there could be a layer of awkwardness. Well, I think we couldn't have that because we were literally over a camera and I like bullied you into starting this podcast. And so we had to make it authentic. And
Mhm.
I think just like literally, I think before I met you, we were speed running that divorce. Like it was happening. So like we covered so much goddamn shit over Zoom. Like, can we get a partnership with Zoom? Can we get a sponsor from Zoom? Because Zoom has been the lifeblood of this. We
It
Zoom
really
more
has
than we
been.
FaceTime. It'll be like, hey, you want to hop on Zoom? Like,
Because
because we
like
need our
then you can
phones.
yes. I mean, when you are like us making content for multiple different things, like I need to be on my phone. Like
I need my
I was
phone.
talking I was talking to my sister about my phone. I was like, I need to get a new one. She's like, why? I'm like, I use my phone quite literally 10, 12 hours a day. Like it's emails, apps. I'm running out of space just because I have so many apps, like for
Yeah.
editing, like the phone. Sometimes I get to the end of the day and my phone is hot. Quite literally, the
Hot.
temperature is up on my phone. It's like, please
I
put me
know.
down.
And my
Um,
husband will be like, you need to charge your phone. I'm like, girl, it's been charged. It's been
mhm.
on the charger all day. Like we're making moves over here. The phone is the lifeblood, okay? Because yeah, you work on your computer, you do this, you do that, but the phone, it goes everywhere. You do your little boopity boop, you're recording your content, you're responding to comments, you're putting out a post. You know, we're busy. We're busy on the phone. And so, speaking of influencers and content creators,
Uh,
our guest
uh,
today, like that
mhm.
segue?
Yes, I do. It's good.
Thank you.
Smooth.
Thank you. So this is our second time we have had Gavriella on. She's having a little tech issues, but not to worry. We all have our issues. If you've listened to this podcast long enough, that's a recurring theme. Which is
Mhm.
it's great. It's the tea. But she not so recently got engaged. The last time we recorded, she had told us like she just got engaged. She talked about the story.
Mhm.
And so
Mhm.
we are going to talk a lot about wedding. We are going to talk about health and fitness surrounding brides. We are going to talk about her experience at Kleinfeld's. I believe it was the one down south. I cannot totally remember, but we're going to have to ask her. But she had some sort of a partnership with Kleinfeld's.
Oh my
Um,
God, it's iconic.
Iconic, right? And the tea about that is my one of my really good friends, she actually helped me. I went to her bridal boutique to get my wedding dress. She worked at Kleinfeld's. Like it's actually crazy how many like people like obviously you watch Say Yes to the Dress, you're getting into Kleinfeld's, you're hearing all about this, but then when you start talking more about wedding culture and all this sort of stuff, you got more connections. And I just love hearing about it and I want to hear her experience because again, I grew up watching that show. That was like one of my favorite shows. And then when we went wedding dress shopping, my mom was like, "Oh my God, can we watch like a couple episodes of Say Yes to the Dress the night before?" And everybody was like, "Yes, oh my God." And we were trying to find the
Mhm.
episodes that my friend Zoe was in, and we were having a little bit of a hard time with that.
Oh, she was in it.
Oh, Zoe. Yeah, you know Zoe. Yeah. Yes, yes, she worked there. She for I
Mm.
forget how many years, but yeah, she was a dress runner. Because she was like super, I think she was like still in college at that time.
Mm.
Um so and now she works at a bridal boutique in Connecticut and she's like amazing at her job. Like I felt like a fairy princess, like at when I was picking up my wedding dress, and I cannot wait to
Uh-huh.
talk with Gabriella about this, so I won't spoil it here. But we are going to jump right into the interview, and if you guys love this episode, share it, comment, like, subscribe, click all the buttons because we are just two girls here who are giving you the tea. We are giving you entertainment. We are giving you empowerment.
Hmm.
And if you want more of this, you got to show us some love. And we also have really fun updates coming to our business as a whole that when we can share it,
Oh
oh,
yeah,
it
I forgot
is
about that.
so good. It is so good. So enjoy the episode, guys. Bye.
Gabriella, friend of show. Anytime someone comes on more than once, we're like friend of show.
You're the guest of honor.
Literally. We're so excited to have you back. So excited to talk all things. We didn't talk too much about this last time. It was more like fashion, and it was a lot of fashion. We're going to talk more about health today, especially because of you getting engaged, working, not working, well, planning for your wedding and dress shopping, all the things. So tell us how your experience was getting your dress. That's what I want to hear first.
I will go back to what you said about you were working. Technically, when no one tells you about the moment you get engaged, you're like, be prepared. You're about to take on another full-time job
Yeah.
without realizing. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter what your vision is, doesn't matter what your hopefully crowd side is, where exactly you're getting married. It's another full-time gig.
Yeah. We had, I should say, a whiteboard in my office, and it was everything that needed to be done and everything that was done. And I was like, I need to go into the business as a wedding planner because I keep my shit on lock. This is so organized, and I'm not getting paid for this. Like, I'm over here, like, fucking breaking my back with wedding planning. And it's like, honestly, the payoff is everything. Because you get stuck in it and you're having a bad day and you're like, I just want this to be over. This is stressful. But then the day of, you're like, wow, everything came together and it's iconic. And like a couple things got messed up that I had asked people to do. I didn't fucking notice. I didn't care. I was like, I saw something that was like, I had asked for it to be a different way, whatever, small thing. And I literally look at my husband and I go, eh. And I was like, 2 months ago, if I had
I
known
would
that
have
was going to
cared so
happen,
hard about it.
I would have been pissed. Today, I'm like, what are you going to do? So,
Have you
yes,
guys
it's
been
a full-time
seeing
job.
Have you guys been seeing the TikTok? It's like this is where I started to not care about what my linens look like, and it's like she's just throwing stuff on the
Yes.
Oh,
floor.
yes.
I
I'm
should do
I'm
that trend.
manifesting that mood. I am manifesting those moments. I'm like, please, please, please let me just let go and be present,
You will.
especially on the day of.
You will. It's hard to think how will I get into that energy, but I swear like once my makeup was done, my dress was on, I did not give a fuck. I was like, let's go. We're
We're
partying.
here.
We're having a good time. We are here. We've made it. And then, like halfway through the reception, my guy friends were like, they like put me on a chair and they were like doing like, and I was like, this is the moment where I don't care about anything. I am having
Mhm.
so much fun. And so like, you will have that because the payout will be there. But it is stressful leading up to it.
That's crazy. But going back to your question, how was the dress shopping experience? So, I found my dress. I'm
Mhm.
relieved more than anything because
Mhm.
when I first like got engaged, we started at like some of the local places that I grew up with that we always drove by. We're like, oh, we can't wait. Like the day like you're gonna be planning your wedding, we're gonna stop in there. Nobody warned me that you have to pay a fee to try on dresses, and it varies based on location.
Oh, I didn't have to do that.
So they're like $50, $60 per appointment.
That's
Jeez.
crazy.
Just to try them on. Not like, oh, this is going to be a VIP level or this is going to be a customization session. Just a normal appointment.
I've never heard of that.
Really?
No,
I
like,
know it's more common now when I talk to my friends about it, like, oh yeah, like this place doesn't charge, but this place does charge. So,
wow, I've never
Wow.
heard of that. That's crazy.
so in total, it's so my mom kept more track than I did.
Yeah.
So 9 salons, 75 wedding dresses.
Oh, you tried them all? Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
Hey, but the place I was lucky enough to be invited to, like the place I got my
Yes.
dress. It
Yes.
was a once in a lifetime
You need to
experience.
talk about that because one of my friend who actually helped me pick my dress, she used to work at Kleinfeld's.
Oh my God.
So we need to hear this because as soon as you posted that video, I was like, I have questions. So let's talk about finding your dress at Kleinfeld's.
Well, actually, it wasn't Kleinfeld's, but people have thought like, how come you haven't gone to Kleinfeld's yet? I've heard mixed things from other people, from my personal friends and other acquaintances about their experience, but yet again, mine might have been different. And
Yeah.
also, it's time of year that you go.
Okay.
So like I had one friend that went like at the beginning of like the summer and she said it was jam-packed and you didn't
Right.
feel as welcomed as you should. And I have a friend that went in the winter and she's like, oh, it was nice. It wasn't as busy as I thought it would be. Randy was there and he just stopped
Yeah.
by and said hi. So again, everyone's experience is different. But when I kid you not, I went back to my TikTok DMs the day after I got engaged. Flo, the OG consultant from Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta, is like, you're coming to Atlanta.
Okay, that's what I meant.
Wow.
Okay,
Yes.
when I say Kleinfelds and I think
You
about
think
the
they're New
shop in
York. Like,
Atlanta, I think both of them because they're both on Say Yes to the Dress. You know
I
what I
just say
mean?
Lori's. I just say it's Lori's.
Lori's.
Like,
Okay, love that. Okay, so Lori, so Flo's in your DMs.
yes.
Were you shook? Like, what's the reaction?
So the day I posted like my proposal like little video, like I'm showing the ring, she duets my video and she's holding like the little sign that says yes when a bride says yes to the dress. She's like, congratulations, Gavriella. I'm so excited. And now it's time for you to say yes to the dress. And I was like, is this an open invite? And then she actually DM'd me. She's like, we're going to give you a VIP appointment on the house. Let
Wow.
us
Wow.
know when you want to come down. And I came the weekend that we were supposed to have that crazy snowstorm in
Yeah.
January. So
Yeah.
we were like, and Atlanta, they have like four, salt trucks in the entire state.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they were all on the roads while we were there, like just right in front of us. And so they were just panicking and were just worried about us getting snowed in. I said, we're from DC. It's gonna be fine. Not 1 ounce of snow on the ground.
That's funny.
But they were trying to play it so hard. They're trying to look at the icing on like a staircase railing to like see, oh my God, look how much ice we got. Like you guys
Yeah.
got nothing. And while sadly, up in DC, we did have to stay an extra day, and thank goodness we stayed an extra day because that extra day, that's when I said yes to the dress. So in a way, I was like really grateful that okay, this couldn't have been more perfect.
Yeah.
And so the months leading up to it, I start like sending her some inspiration and like what I'm hoping for. And then the day comes and you pull up to it. I'm like, am I about to walk onto a TV set? Is this like the real deal? Because
Mhm.
I'm so used to like showcasing it like on my TikTok and my Instagram, but
Hmm.
pulling up to it and then seeing the two signs that says as seen on Say Yes to the Dress Atlanta and as seen on Say Yes Bridesmaids. When you walk in there, it looks the exact same. It's
Yeah.
exactly how it looks on TV. Not one picture is out of place, no wallpaper changes, no like nothing. Everything looked the same. And then Flo comes out. She gives me the tightest hug ever, kind of like the reunited and it feels so good kind of type of
Oh,
hug.
yeah.
And we were just so excited. And their social media person came in on her day off and she got so much behind the scenes content. She's like, do not worry about filming. We got you. And I did have to when I was posting my video, I did have to clarify I did get special permission from the entire store to be filmed. Because usually at
Okay.
some salons, they won't allow you to take pictures or film unless you are actually, whoops, saying yes to the dress. They do not play with that kind of stuff. And I had that experience at a
Mm.
salon here in Virginia where she was like, oh, you can't film here unless this is one you actually really like and you want to say yes to. And that I do respect in some way, but with this, I was like, I have to clarify because if I can do it and I ask permission, someone else maybe not have that.
Right, right, right. That's
Mhm.
really, it's so crazy because I never heard of these sorts of fees and not being able to film. And I'm just like, so I feel so grateful that I was able to, like, I chose to get, like, to shop at my friend's boutique. She doesn't own the boutique, but she manages it. She is like the head bitch in charge, if you will. She is so incredible. And like, it would have felt some type of way if there was those stipulations because you're just trying to be present and in the moment and having
And
fun.
and it's
And
supposed to be an exciting
right,
experience.
right. So I'm so glad you also had the experience of being able to have the fun and the filming and just like keeping you present versus somebody being like, oh, you can't take a picture, you can't film. It's like, I want these for my memories. Like, so
Hmm.
yeah,
And once like we arrived, we actually were saying like, okay, for this time we're gonna try on dresses, and then we're gonna film TikToks at this hour. So we had everything planned. I made a spreadsheet of
Oh,
all the things
wow.
we want to film, and it could have been more perfect. Someone kept commenting, "This is my 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon." Like this is Roman Empire times 10
yeah,
because
yeah,
it is weird how invested people are. I mean, I'm a nosy person. You see my content. I basically have been stalking brides for the past almost year now.
hmm,
And now that it's my turn, they're doing the same. Like, we want to see everything.
yes,
Show it
yeah,
all.
Hmm.
Every portion of the process, like, tell us, like, we're here for it.
right,
So I walk into the VIP room and there's a cake, there's custom cookies, there's a little goodie bag, and full of everything. I got my own Bridals by Lori robe, like the ones they wear in the show.
yeah.
So I have my own to
Oh,
take home.
yeah,
Water bottles, everything from like bridal attire. Flo made me a hat and like a bride purse. She has a small
yeah,
business on Etsy, so I'm like, go support Flo and her small business.
yeah. Wow,
It felt all really very special and
yeah.
personal. And we started trying on dresses. And one thing about Flo, she is so damn fast at getting you in and out of the gown. I'm talking maybe like 6 seconds. Like I'm like, you've been doing this for like over 13 or something years. So I understand
Mhm.
like how good she is at it. And I will say, I think it was just a lot of fun the first day, but I needed to be present. Like, am I going to find my dress?
Yeah,
Am I going to find
Hmm.
my dress? And then who else I meet? Lori. Lori was there.
that's
And I
awesome.
impersonate Lori. So I think I was more nervous about that. And I will say one thing. That day, I actually was like, doing some quick searches on like their social media, like what they've been up to, if I want to kind of
Yeah.
follow up with some questions. It was the 1 year anniversary of Lori's father passing away. So I could tell she
Ah,
was a bit out of it.
yeah.
But she was very, very kind. And she's like, we love your videos. I'm like, oh my God. She sees
Aw.
me impersonate her. I was
That's always a little bit awkward, but
I didn't have to do
iconic.
it in front of her, thank goodness. But
That's funny.
because people do like praise with like, you're so spot on with her voice. I said, I just need to think of one word in my head and I have the voice down. Or I just have
Right.
to look at her face when she has to talk. I'm like, oh, I got it. And the word is linebacker or the word is bride. And I'm like, oh, I got it.
Right.
It's like linebacker. Like that's how she says
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Or she's like, well, this bride has this going on. Like that's how you have to nail it. And the one thing about this whole dress experience that really struck out to me is it it's so weird because the first day you're so intimidated, you're like, oh my God, like I feel like I'm walking on the set. I shouldn't sit here. Like that's like the TV chair. By the second time we went in, it was like we were at home. We were lounging
Hmm.
around the sofas. We were just going from room to room, and we got to see I like to call it the confessional room, where they
Hmm.
do all the interviews. They
Yeah.
switched it up, obviously, since the show ended in like 2019, 2020. And it was just so cool just seeing like the wall of fame of all the famous people they met from like their first ever TLC premiere and all the fashion shows they have gone to. And we just kind of went down memory lane and talking about all the other past consultants that were there. And it was overall like such an amazing experience. I am so thankful for Lori and Flo and the entire Bridals by Lori team. And trying on the dress the second time, it became more emotional. I
Yeah.
think it's because, well, not only was it like a something else I've never seen before, but it was they just got that in that week. So I'm like, no one else is going to have this dress by the time it's my wedding.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't have that worry.
Mm.
But saying yes to that dress, it just was like the icing on the cake. And best
Yeah.
part, because it was out of state, no state taxes.
So, did you go in with a vision? Because I know for my experience, I had gone on Pinterest. I was looking at a bunch of different styles, and I was very set on this one style. And I shared my Pinterest board with my friend, and she was like, "Oh, we actually have this that dress here." And I was like, "Great, pull it. I'm going to try that on first." And she's like, "Great, let's try this on first because you're like pretty dead set on it, but of course, it could look completely different when you put it on. It's not in your vision." So I try it on, fucking obsessed. I'm like, "This is it." And she's like, "All right, but we're gonna keep trying on." So I think I tried on like 13 dresses or something
That's a
like that.
happy medium.
And then we go back and we circle back to it. And I was stuck between two. And I tried on the first one again. And I'm bawling. I was like, "I think this is it." And it's just this feeling of like, it's so bizarre because like it's just a dress. Like it's just a piece of clothing. But when you're looking in the mirror and you're thinking about the day and all of the emotions come up, and I was like, my gut is spot on because I found that dress within like 15 seconds of being engaged and it ended up being my dress, which is super, it's very like me. Maddie, would you say that's pretty much like me? Like
Yeah.
pretty spot on. But so what, because you said you tried on like 75 dresses. How the hell
Yes.
do you even remember what you like and what you don't like? That's crazy.
So at first when I walked in, I definitely was open to like lace and like sleeves and then something
Yep.
like more like sophisticated. But then as I kept trying them on, I'm like, I feel like these dresses are aging me. They're not
Right.
accentuating me.
Mm.
And then, so the first salon I went to, it was like down the street from my parents' house. And the first dress I ever tried on was like, I like to call it the Sophia Richie dress because it had like the high neck, it was
Yep.
lace, it was very like very sexy, almost a little too sexy, but it was fun to try on. And then she tells me, "Oh, that's the last one we have, and if you're going to buy it, you have to buy that sample and the veil that comes with it." And that together would have been $12,000. And it's stained with someone's tanning on the
Oh,
neckline. And I said,
Oh.
I don't want this anymore. Okay, good.
yeah.
And then the last dress she put me in, it was super clean. No bling at all. Very, I don't know how to describe it, but very simple A-line, drop waist, super clean gown. I'm like, why is this my favorite?
Mm-hmm.
Why do I love this one the most? It's just
Mm-hmm.
like how I feel in it, is how my body looks. Is it just because it's enhancing me naturally? That I don't need to have all the pizzazz on it. But I tried on a lot of different styles. I was still trying to be open to like a mermaid cut, a fully
Yeah.
lace. I've tried on a bunch of other like trumpet styles, but the one I settled on, it was just everything and more because it had a little bit of everything, but in the most classy way. I don't
Mm-hmm.
want to spill too much about it, but I will say there was a moment where Flo turned down the lights in the salon to
Mm-hmm.
show the bits of sparkle that go off. I'm like, I feel like a fairy. I
Mm.
I feel like I'm floating.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when everything changed and when
Mm-hmm.
everything hit.
Yeah.
And there were some points where we still tried on dresses for fun. Like, okay, I'm not gonna buy these. Like, obviously they're way out of my price range. But if we were gonna film like a TikTok, I wanted to make sure I was in a dress I knew I wasn't going to purchase.
Did
So
did you
Smart.
have any moments? Well, okay, now say yes to the dress is coming in my mind. And Randy would always be like, "Do not try on a dress that is out of your price range." Were you nervous about that? Were
I
you
was,
nervous?
and I look at so there's this. It's actually in my TikToks like with Flo where like I'm in a wedding dress. It was
Yeah.
the Nicole and Felicia drop waist. It had full on flowers on the bottom that's cascading down. It's so over the top and gorgeous. I was like praying. I'm like, please make this. I really hope this doesn't look good on me. I really hope this is looking on me. And I'm just like, fuck,
Yeah.
damn. Is this $14,000 worth of damn though? Like,
Wow.
but in my head, I'm like, okay, as beautiful as this is gorgeous on the runway, but on my wedding day, this will be I'd be dragging it around. It was heavy, very, very
Mm,
heavy. As gorgeous as it was a piece of art. It was
yeah.
just insanely heavy. I'm like, there's no way I could dance in this on my wedding day. And that was another test I had to do. I had to do, so in Jewish weddings, we do something called the bedecken, where our kata hour is actually going to be before the ceremony. So basically, the moment my wedding begins, you get a meet, it feels like a meet and greet with like the bride.
Hmm.
And I sit on like this little throne with, my mom on one side and my future mother-in-law on the other. And it's kind of like people get food, they get drinks, and they come to me. And because we're considered high power, we can give out blessings and like wish them good fortune and like good futures. And the first impression of you, obviously, is up close and personal, but you're sitting down in your dress.
Mm.
So, like, if it
Oh,
looks as
interesting.
good as me when I'm sitting at the beginning, then I'm sold. And then we did the dance
Hmm.
test with my sister. I'm like, can you, because in Jewish weddings, the dancing is next level. They're pulling you in and out, like almost yanking you. And I just
Hmm.
wanted to make sure, am I able to move around this dress? Will there not be any accidents? So that was another test I had to run. I couldn't just say yes because I loved it. I'm like, can this be functional? And
Mm.
I love it so much. I don't think I'm going to be doing a dress change. I might do an after party change for like later on the night.
Hmm.
But if I love my dress so much, why would I change out of it? You spend all that
Yeah.
money and all that time getting it altered and making sure it's perfect in every aspect. You wear it for maybe like 2 hours, and then you change it into like a really short dress that you found on Amazon.
Yeah. No,
Hmm.
I feel that same way too. Like, one of my friends was like, "Oh, are you gonna change?" Because my dress was fucking heavy. Like my train was long as shit. It was heavy.
Hmm.
Like when it was bustled, it was heavy. But I was like, my seamstress, I was snatched to the fucking gods. Like the corset was tight. It was tight on the inside. She was like, "Can you breathe?" I was like, "Am I
I don't know.
blue? I'm good. Like we are good here." But she was like, when you're dancing, like your boob might pop out. And I was like, no, it won't. It's tight enough. And she's like, I'm going to sew in a little strap. And if you want to put it on, you can. I was like, I'm not going to fucking put it on. I don't like how it looks. You better believe halfway through the dancing, I was like, I gotta put these straps on. I just didn't care. I was like, I'm dancing with my friends. The music's
Hmm.
good. People are having a good time. Like the drinks are flowing. It just was, and I was like, I can't even imagine getting out of this dress. I am obsessed. And then we go back to before we head to the after party, and I'm like, okay, I need people to get me out of this dress because it's buttoned. I got my corset. I'm like, I can't get out
I
of
can't
this.
breathe in this dress, so I'm just gonna go.
I could breathe. I was chilling, but I was like, I need to get out of this. And I was like, girls, let's just put on our PJs and let's go fucking rip it. And we just all of a sudden, my parents, my bridesmaids, a couple other girls, we're all just breaking out into like a massive dance party. Like we got 90s rap going. We're like
Oh
shaking
man.
ass in this my big ass dress. And we're just in my parents' like suite. And I was like, this is the best night of my life. I never want to take this dress off. So I think a dress change is great for some people, right? Like if
Yes.
that's your MO, fabulous. For me, I was like, I want to be buried in this dress. Like I just felt like I don't know, it's a weird feeling. You just feel like you're like this is it. I don't know, it's a weird feeling.
And and it is that feeling, but it's also the feeling like, am I going to love this months later? You have that feeling like, did I make the right choice? Is there another dress out there for me? They do tell
Yeah.
you stop looking, and there have been moments where a dress might pop up on like my TikTok feed. I'm like, it's not mine. So I feel stuck in
Dress regret
to
is
mine.
real for a second.
At first I thought I was going crazy. My friend's like, "Oh no,
Nope.
that's normal. That
Yep.
is 100% normal." And what's been really nice about, this whole community that I'm so grateful that I get to, be a part of, they're telling me their experiences. They're saying, "Don't worry about this. My advice to you is this. My husband and I have been married, for almost 40 years, and like, please enjoy this. I promise you it will pass." Because I have been a bit open about how I've been doing mentally, especially since
Mm.
trying to plan this
Yeah.
wedding. This is actually something I really want to talk about today. And it's like you can't escape it, no matter how hard you try. like I feel like every time I open my social media, it's another video about like this is what I'm doing to glow up for my wedding. And it's like the workouts you should be doing, like the treatments you should get to prep, how your body should look, how your glassy skin should look. And of course, the day of, that's the best, like in your mind, how you're gonna look. You want to
Hmm.
look like the most beautiful version of you, and that is fine with me. But nobody talks about the mental side of preparing for a wedding and being present at the wedding. And people don't talk about the wedding crash out afterwards. You're on that high,
Oh,
and then it's
yeah.
just immediate, like, I feel like you're back at rock bottom.
Yeah. Yeah.
So having that, it's like a lot of unnecessary pressure that you're feeling. Like all of a sudden, like I'm thinking about things I never thought about. I feel like I'm back in high school scrolling through Tumblr. Like, do I need to
Mm.
get Botox so my smile lines don't show? Do I need to get like lymphatic drainage? Like, when did I fucking start thinking about these useless things? And I had a friend tell me, you know what your number one glow up is? Don't do anything out of
Hmm.
your comfort zone.
Mm.
Someone could tell you this one thing, doesn't mean you have to do it. And also, I tell myself, like, the wedding is one day, but that marriage is for life and the memories after that. And you want to mentally prepare for that. You have many more amazing days to come than just the wedding. So I've been
Hmm.
trying to keep that in the back of my head and try to kind of stay in my own lane. So I always say I want to do like some kind of series where I do the mental side of, planning a wedding because no one
Yeah.
tells you how isolating it feels. You're almost like to yourself, you're just trying to overthink every little thing. I played this game with my coworkers recently because some of them are like they're not from the US, so weddings in their cultures have are very different, especially
Right.
when it comes to, size and prices. So I played the game called Guess That Quote, and I said, okay, I'm gonna give you a prompt, and you have to tell me how much you think I was quoted. And these are
Hmm.
absurd. Like a few weeks ago, I got quoted for a six-piece band. So they had a six-piece, a seven-piece, an eight-piece. They're well known, got great reviews. The six-piece band was $42,000.
Oh, fuck no.
I said, Am I hiring Kings of Leon? Am I hiring like the Jonas Brothers? Like, in what world? In
That's
what
so
Wow.
world?
crazy.
In what
No,
universe?
wedding culture is genuinely it's out of control. Like it is so insane to have these prices. Like I am all about like paying for somebody's services and finding value in it. But a six-piece van for $42,000?
No. I got
What are
quoted
you
from,
like? Are you coming with buckets of money? Like
or
what are you coming? This
like
is
I said, is the
crazy.
band Kings of Leon? Is it like the Killers? Like, who
That's
are they?
so crazy. Oh my God. And
My
on
jaw hit my
the
jaw
other
hit the
side of
ground.
this, Maddie had a very small micro wedding. So she's probably RIP to that wedding, but she would fucking die. I think your wedding in total was it, how much did it cost?
I mean, it was,
And it could just
I
be
don't
the
know,
basics. The add-ons don't, I feel
two,
like the
two to
add-ons don't count the
three.
day of.
I
Two to
think it
three
was,
thousand?
and the most expensive part was the photography because I
Right.
didn't want to cheap out on that. But every like the venue
Never.
was $300.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
My dress
micro wedding's
alterations
iconic.
were more than my dress price.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I got my dress off Lulu's. I love Lulu's. I literally
I do
wear their
too.
stuff all the
It's
It
like,
time. But I
looked,
got,
honestly, if you didn't, and not that it matters, like literally
yeah,
do whatever the fuck you want for your wedding because it's
oh, absolutely.
your day. I knew that I wanted something smaller, but my husband wanted something bigger. And in the end, I'm glad we had something bigger. But your dress looked, I fucking, in the picture of your back, like that, just frame the picture of your back in that dress because you don't need anything else, Maddie. You don't need,
that
cut that man's head out and just put the picture of your back like in your bathroom like it's art. And I
honestly, I
love that
should.
dress. And it's honestly like, this is the part where I think people might also feel a lot of mental load and mental anguish and like isolation because it's kind of like keeping up with the Joneses. Like
Oh
how much
yes.
do I
Yeah.
spend? How much did this person spend? What should I do? And you get pulled away from the
From
reason
your
why you
vision.
want this, right? And so I think one thing that I did, and I remember telling Maddie, I was like, I am losing my goddamn mind. This is crazy. Like, I don't know what to do. And she's like, I was like, I think I'm just gonna go away for the weekend. She's like, do not work, do not be on your phone, like take time. And I was like, well, I feel bad. Like I could be working or I could be doing this. And she's like, no, we do not like live to just work. And I was like, okay. So I like took the weekend completely unplugged. My husband and I went down to the Cape. We went to the beach. We went to dinner. We got drinks. We went kayaking. Just like totally unplugged. And I was like, I needed that. My mental sanity needed that
Mhm.
because you hit a wall at some point and then you're having the nerves and the anxiety about I hope the day goes well. And we had like our wedding weekend was, I was just worried about every day. And then the reality of it, I was like, we got to our like the venue on Friday. Everybody like met at the bar, and Friday was my night to just kind of like let loose. And I was like, I don't care.
Oh,
Like
you mean and Saturday?
Saturday, no, Saturday I didn't drink that much. Saturday I had like four drinks, but
We were
Friday,
up late, and you guys had to get up so early Sunday. I was like, how is she
well, what are you
still
gonna do? I
awake?
mean, girl, I only live once. But
I know
Friday,
you're like it's my wedding.
Friday, I was reckless. I was like, Mama
I went to
is
bed. She
having a good
was
time.
still
Yeah, I
partying.
looked around and I
Where's
looked at my
everyone?
mom and I go, "Where's Maddie?" And she goes, "I brought her upstairs. She was really tired." And I was like, "Slay! I love that." And
I
then
was
I
like,
snuck out too.
mm.
I got like French fries and I was like, "Are these gluten free?" And the guy's like, "Yeah, it's a separate fryer." So I like took them. I went back up to my room and I was like, I'm going to bed. My husband will find me later, but I need to go to sleep. And I think just letting go at that point and just being like, it is what it is. Like I can't do anything anymore. And it allowed me to just be present. And so I think at some point you will just be able to like have a release and then you're just in it and you're having fun.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
prior, it's a lot.
It is. Especially, well, I will say I have majority of my vendors like done, which is
Good.
nice. I mean, I'm putting everything down in like today. And it
Yes.
has been really nice because I am getting married. This is controversial. I'm getting married on a Monday.
Okay. Slay.
It's Columbus Day Monday. Technically a holiday, not a real federal holiday, but hey, I'm saving like a lot. Just
Yeah.
saving a lot.
Yeah.
And it's a great negotiation trick.
For what? How so?
For a vendor, it's like, well, I'm getting married on a not common day of the week. I'm getting married on a Monday. Is there a
Right.
way we could fix this or adjust this?
Mm-hmm.
And it has worked. And there have been times where they even throw that to me before me even asking it. They said, oh, like, since you're getting married on a Monday, and also I work with this venue a ton, they're one of my favorites, we're going to give you this much money off. I'm like, sounds great to me.
Oh,
Okay, like, keep it coming.
nice.
And the best part, the venue I chose, the catering is in-house,
Mm.
which has been such a lifesaver. These other places I've toured in like DC and Virginia, like some of these places start at 36, 38 for just the venue.
That's
Just the
Jeez.
crazy.
venue. I said, like, you're kidding me, right? Like that doesn't include like the service fees or the
Hmm.
catering fees. Oh, no, there's going to be an outside catering fee if you chose not to go with the ones that we have on our list. But you still
Yeah.
got to pay a fee if you do go to the ones on our list. It's been crazy. We went to there's this place you should definitely look it up. It's the George Peabody Library. It was my dream venue for a long, long time. And then I
Hmm.
went to visit it. It's not that practical. There's no parking and there is a parking garage nearby, but it closes at 9 p.m. So what's the point of that when my guests can't get to their
Oh.
cars? It's on a steep hill. Not everyone is able to walk up that steep hill.
Yep.
And it is beautiful, but they do have a lot of rules. And they have a gorgeous, I mean, it's stunning, absolutely gorgeous. But because it's technically on a university campus and property, they go by university hours. So sometimes if you want to go use the bathroom, you have to ask somebody at the front desk for a key, and that key is for the elevator. You have to take the elevator down to go use the bathroom, and you might run into students.
Oh God, no,
No.
no.
Oh,
And they'll charge you a fee if you want to take photos by this gorgeous staircase. I'm like, you're basically nickel and diming us for every portion of the
Everything.
property.
That's
jeez.
crazy.
So when we walked down, I'm like, well, that dream was crushed. But I'm glad I saw it in person. I'm glad I was able to see it, appreciate it. I'm like, okay, I thought this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
Not for me.
Yeah.
But I do appreciate like the people like who actually do get married there and they make it look so pretty. Because the one
Right.
thing is
Mhm.
like if you don't need a lot of decorating for a gorgeous space, you're sold.
Sure.
And that's what I thought my vision would be. Because the space
Mm.
is just so beautiful, you don't need a lot.
Mm.
But
Mm.
where I'm
Yeah.
getting married now, I mean, I don't want to like really expose it, but what I love about it is that my opinion is that I can't do an outdoor ceremony. I can't risk that. I just, you
I
just never
risked it.
know.
I did too. What are you like? Are you nervous about like the weather or something?
Yes, but also because it's going to be early October. So, what I loved about this venue was that their indoor option for our ceremony, it was not like a plan B. That is where you would get married if you wanted your wedding indoors, and it was made for it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like this overhead like skylight from the window, so it comes from the ceilings and it goes directly down the aisle. So you have the natural lighting when you're
Oh.
walking down the aisle. It's like just on you.
Mm-hmm.
It is huge, and also the bridal suite is like next level. It's like every like influencer girl's fantasy. It's huge. It could hold like 25 girls if you really wanted to.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that the owner of the venue told me is like, this is what you're getting out the door. No hidden fees, no hidden gratuities. I'm like, this is exactly what I want to hear. And
Yeah.
because they take care of a lot, I haven't been really worried about the venue wise. I think it's just the pressure, just being the bride,
Mm.
knowing that all eyes are going to be on you, knowing that you're going to be like the center of attention, which, oh my God, I hate that. But said no one. I was just more nervous because we're not having, I would say we're having a medium guest list,
Okay.
125.
That's about, I think, what I had. Yeah.
How many?
125.
125. Gotcha. I thought you said 25. I was like,
Yeah.
wouldn't that be my girl?
I,
But
I, I asked, it's because I've been asking like a few of my friends, like, hey, question, how many were at your wedding? She's like, oh, 300 and something. I'm like, huh? I didn't even like that many people. So why would I invite that many people?
That's the thing. I'm like, I don't have a big family and neither does my husband. So I guess if you had like a really big family, that would maybe make more
Yes,
sense. But I'm like, I don't, if I haven't talked to you in like
a year.
3 years, you don't need to be at my wedding. Yet my
I'm the
husband is
same
on the other
way.
side of it and he's like wanting to invite everybody that he's known since birth. And I'm
Yeah.
like, and then we started breaking down costs and I go, "Well, these are all your people and this is what we're thinking for food and all this sort of stuff." And he's like, "Oh my God, that's crazy." I go, "Yeah, no shit. I told you like it's
I told
not
you.
cheap." So then we had to hack the list a little bit.
Oh,
But
I
what are you
can't.
gonna do? All my favorite people were there.
Oh, and
you
also
were.
before I booked the date, I told like my closest, my bestest friends in the world, this might be the date. They already had it locked in before I sent out save the date. So I'm like, if
Yeah.
that's just as important for me, knowing that
Yeah.
my favorite people in the entire world will be there
Yeah.
before I told anyone else.
Yeah.
So that was a relief. And even though yes, it is technically another state, I am more relieved about. I actually feel better about it because it's very close to the airport. So people who
Oh,
need to come from out of state,
Mm.
no
easy.
worries. I
Yeah.
actually, I last week or 2 weeks ago, I guess today, I got to go to Death Valley for a
Hmm.
wedding.
How was that?
It was stunning.
Really?
I was wearing shorts. It was like
Wait, where is
90.
that?
Death Valley, California. It's like in
California.
between Nevada and
Gotcha.
California. I would
Okay.
say it's like so we drove 2 hours from the Las Vegas airport to get there. So one of my fiance's cousins, she like lives like an hour away from Death Valley, and they said let's just get married there. And they do have a really pretty resort. The air was like perfect. The mountains were gorgeous. You are at like the lowest place in the entire US, and it was 34 people, so very micro. But I mean, I enjoyed it. It was very, very pretty. But what shocked me the most about like this entire thing was how far we had to drive, two
Mm,
hours from the Vegas airport
right.
to
Mm-hmm.
get married in like the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like in shock. I'm like, this is so stunning. Like you said, you don't need a lot of decoration. You have this gorgeous view
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
this
Mm-hmm.
amazing, everything was outdoors, but the weather was perfect. They do tell you that if you don't try to visit Death Valley from May to September because it gets abnormally hot. You might die.
Hence Death Valley.
Oh, because so the place we actually stayed, the in one of the Guinness World Records was recorded at that property for like the highest temperature ever recorded. Like 134 degrees was recorded
Oh,
there.
No, no,
I said, "You're
no, I would
dust at that point. You're
actually
dust.
combust and die, and I would live
You're
to tell,
dust."
I would not live to tell the tale of Death Valley. Um, but I want to go back to kind of the the pressure of feeling like you have to be a certain way for your wedding. Now, something that I really focused on is because I was so stressed and overwhelmed, I really turned the self-care up to 10. So, I was like, all right, I need to do red light my face every day. I want to be doing, making sure I'm not skipping a day of my skincare, like keep the skin nice. If I'm going out in the sun, like I do want a little color, but let's not get sunburned. Let's read some books. Let's do things to kind of help ground me. And then something I also was thinking about is how I want to look because I do think there is a certain vision that people have. And I was not really thrilled with how I looked at my engagement pictures because I was in the process of losing weight. And I was just like, I that it was an insecurity. I was picking apart those pictures. I was like, don't love everything about it. So for me, it was I want to feel the absolute best I can in my body, meaning like I felt confident. And I told my husband, I was like, this is not for anybody other than myself. I don't feel pressured. I don't feel any type of way, but it's when I look back at these pictures, I want to just feel good. I just want to feel good. And when we got all our pictures back, there was not one moment where I felt, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that, which is how I felt with my engagement pictures. And so I think there's a balance of, for some people, using a wedding as motivation for maybe doing something that you've wanted to do, but then also being aware of how stressful and competitive and maybe just really challenging in a way like what like social media like TikTok especially brings out about wedding and your body needing to look a certain way. And I always say to my clients, you don't need to look any way other than how you want to look. And so what we like to focus on is really like improving the overall health. And then we can, you tackle other parts that you want to maybe focus on aesthetically. But have you been, are you clicking not interested when you're seeing certain videos? Or how are you kind of like protecting the mental? Because I know for myself, I just kept reminding that, like, I don't really care how, like, what people's perception is of me. This is how I want to look and this is how I want to feel. And that's how I avoided getting caught up in the bridal this, the bridal that, and just the pressure that a lot of women feel.
For me, I actually, before I even go online, I ask like a few of my peers who are past brides. Like I go to a strength training gym, and I will
Yep.
say, strength training makes you feel so sexy. I never felt
Yes.
hotter my entire life.
Yep.
And what I love about my class, they have all different kinds of people. We
Hmm.
have people in their 60s. We have people who are freshly post grads, and they're doing the same workouts as everybody else. No one has a tripod, no one has their phone. You are there to move and feel good.
Hmm.
And one of them got married last year, and she said, "Don't if you know how your body functions and if you know how your body reacts to things, stick to what you know and try not to do anything new, because the last thing you want to do is like ruin your health before your
Hmm.
wedding. Like if there's a new treatment out there, I would not try it. If there's like a new plan, I would maybe not try it. Like just go easy on yourself and what you know. Don't try to expand too hard or far out. Because I've seen a lot of girls like going the extremes. All of a sudden, I'm getting like TikTok shop ads for like mega like subscription juice cleanses. I'm like, what?
Mm.
I'm like, why are we going
mm,
backwards now? I
Yeah.
thought we were over
hmm.
this. I thought we were done. But what I have been told like from like other peers is like just enjoy the process. Like, don't miss out on certain things because you want to look a certain way on your wedding day, but also like do what's best for you and what makes you feel good. So
Yeah.
for me, it's like always moving my body in some way, shape, or form and getting my steps in, and also lots of water. And I'm not trying to drink as much, I would say. I think that,
Alcohol.
yeah, because
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't usually do that, but I feel like prepping for the wedding, you want to be as present as you possibly can. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I think the next time like I'll have some drinks is like the bachelorette because that's worth celebrating. That's fun.
Oh my God.
But
If I could
ours is gonna
relive
be
my
but ours is gonna
bachelorette
be like
party.
ours is gonna be like low key. We're doing it in like a very small Maryland town. We're not flying anywhere.
Right.
Because I said, listen, I was a bridesmaid 2 years ago. We went to Charleston. I will
Yep.
say it was so much fun.
Yeah.
And everyone was so nice. We're like, why is everyone being so nice to us? We're not used to this. But there is a bachelorette price to pay, especially when
Yeah.
you're in a very popular city that has those kinds of parties to cater to.
Yeah. Yeah. I think because again, kind of some of with the bridal culture, it gets like a little crazy, and like I have a little bit of anxiety around flying a lot. So I was like, okay, we're obviously not flying anywhere because how's my ass getting there? So we went to Portsmouth, and it's just this really beautiful, part of New Hampshire, and it's like on the water and it's super walkable, and like 10 of us girls, we got this house and it was all like Bravo themed. It was like my
Oh, I love
sister
that.
fucking crushed it. Like everybody was so amazing. My best friend and my sister, like they really like it was just amazing. It was the most fun I have had, like in at that point I had had in a while. I was like, this is amazing. This is everything. Like I get married again so I can do this? Or we just need to really like fucking
Every time
schedule
you renew
like
your vows, just go do another bachelorette.
I'm like, girls, who's getting married next? Because I want to be able to do that for somebody else. Because it was just like it's it's just this like labor of love that you feel, just like people pouring into your cup. And I told Maddie, I was like, it probably is not going to be your scene because like she doesn't drink. I'm speaking for you, but you don't drink. And so like I was like, it's probably not going to be your scene because like drinking was nonstop. As soon as I pulled up on the Friday, we had welcome drinks, and then I think Saturday or Sunday when we left, I was like, I am so fucking hungover. I need to get home to my bed and get a Diet Coke. But I had called her after we left brunch because my sister was setting up a wine tasting. And I was just like, I wish you were here. It's so fun. It's
I
such like a
know.
love moment. And so I just think like soaking every aspect up as much as you can is just like
Absolutely.
that's what makes the wedding process fun, right? Because it can get so stressful and it feels like it's out of control, but like grounding yourself in your friends and having fun and taking the pictures and the videos, and I've been scrapbooking everything, and it just like helps you to like relive a time that can honestly be really stressful for a lot of people. And like we don't want to remember the stress. We just want to
Of course
remember
not.
the fun and the good times. Oh,
And that's why I'm grateful for that Say Yes experience. I think that really
yeah.
did, like, you watch this show every other day with your family growing up, and
Yeah.
you were invited personally to have that experience. And I think what made it better was the other support I got from the following
Yeah.
people that
Yeah.
were there for me. They're like, I've never been more ready for this. They said, this is my royal wedding. I'm like,
Yeah. Oh,
what?
I
Huh?
love that.
Mine? But I also got to be like in a different area because I still need to, do the content I usually do.
Right.
And obviously, I have to find a good balance of it. I can't just, do something tragic, then talk about my wedding. So I'm like, I need to find the little pockets of my wedding plan that I'm willing to share because I don't want to do every little second of the planning. I definitely
Yep.
want to do like around later on because I still have all the footage of all like the venues I toured and like the
Yeah.
places I spoke to, just so I could give them suggestions. If they're like, hey,
Yeah.
if you're in this budget, if you're in this area, this is actually a great option. So even though we didn't choose it, because I've seen the people that say, here are things I will not be doing at my wedding. And people are so stressed out of like, what if my wedding is like so like 2026 core? I'm like, you're getting married in 2026.
Who
It
cares?
shows the time. Like back then, it was the mason jars and the
Yeah.
signage, and like that
Yeah.
was the time. Okay, it was great then, and
Yeah.
that
Hmm.
maybe they'll still think like, listen, that was the time, and we still loved it. And
Yeah.
there might be a few things that we might be doing that might be a bit more, I guess, might be considered chuggy in a couple years, but that was the time. And everyone just telling you this is what I would not be doing. Like, it's your wedding. You could do whatever the hell you want to do. Why are we
Yeah.
just trying to hate on other brides? Like, let them do what they want to do.
Hmm.
If they want to throw their bouquet in a crowd of single girls, let them do that. Like, let them have their fun.
Hell yeah. Like that's such a good note to end on. Is when you're in your wedding planning process and honestly your life in general, it does not matter what every other person has done. You don't have to like that's not a frame of reference for what you should do because you're right. You go into the TikTok comments and it's like, "Oh my God, that's so 2016. Oh my God, who's da 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 da." And it's like I'm
I'm
sure
sorry, are
there
you
are
married? Is it
things,
your wedding? Like,
right? I'm sure there's things in my wedding that people would not have liked. I mean, I can't really imagine how because it was fabulous and iconic, but I'm sure somebody, might have a thing to say. But I don't give a shit because I'm gonna look back in all these years and just like you feel the love, you feel the emotions. It doesn't matter what other people think. But I also think that like it's hard on social media sometimes because people just say whatever they want to say. But then you have those people in the comments that are like, this comment section did not pass the vibe check. Why are people being so
oh.
mean? And I always love those comments. I'm
I
like,
was
Yep.
gonna say maybe you need a hug. Maybe that's what
right.
you need.
Maybe you need
Yeah.
a hug. Yeah, no, I'll tell Maddie. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm always in the comments about these things. And I'm always like, I wonder if she's going to see them because our algorithms are very much
Sometimes if you
similar.
are active, you might come across it. It's like, oh, if this
Yeah.
per if,
Yeah.
if like Allie liked it, then maybe I'll see it. Even though I have
Right.
nothing to do with it. It was on hers, it might come on to
Yeah,
mine.
and I'm
Like you
like, I'm
never
always in
know.
the comments like, you go girl, love you, slay. This is everything. Like I love being like a positive person in the comments
Oh,
because
I'm the same.
it's just like if you're feeling like some type of positivity, I'm like, you know what? You need to hear this because if this video made me happy or made me laugh, like I don't care if it's cheesy, but you better believe my ass is going to be in the comments rating something positive.
Oh,
Will I
I'm the
ever like
same.
be a hater? No, because I'm like, who has the time for that? If it's not my vibe, I'm skipping the video. It's no big deal.
And even like I'm talking like from the moment you get engaged, they're like commenting on the engagement ring and they're commenting on the theme of this batch. I'm like, are you the one getting married? Are
Right.
you the
Mhm.
one that's in this era of your life?
No.
Like there was this, I'll never get over it. You guys have to look this up later. They called
Yeah.
her Rain the can opener Rain. I'm like, why are you being such a hater?
I think I
It
saw that
it
ring.
was but apparently it was like an antique. I'm like, hey,
It
that's unique.
was.
That's never gonna be made ever again. So
That's
in a way, she's the
horrible.
winner in that category. Like, let her have her moment. Let
That's
her show it
so
off.
mean. That
It was it kept coming up and everyone's duetting. I'm like, guys. I love a unique engagement ring. I
right.
really do. And I feel like people say you should look like your ring. And that's how
Oh, I like that. I think that's
it's kind of
Interesting.
like how people say, oh, your dogs are probably similar like to how you are, similar to
sure.
like engagement rings. They should kind of reflect who you are as a person.
Hmm.
That I agree with because I would say when I was ring shopping, I was really avoiding like looking at like I just was like what's calling out to me and I gave my husband three choices of rings because we've been together 10.5 years now and like I was like we don't need to be doing this whole elaborate surprise. These are the rings that I want, you
I'm
can
the same
pick so it's
way.
still a surprise.
I'm
And
the
he
same way.
picked the one that I was like, I liked all of them, but my ring night right now was like, I liked it a smidge more. And I opened the box and I go, oh my God, you picked the right one. And he goes, what? And I go, no,
Uh,
this felt like
it felt like
me.
me.
And he's like, no, I could like feel that. Like this was more you. And so I do think that's true. And so who cares if I mean, I'm sure it hurts you because you're like, who cares if somebody doesn't like my ring? But it hurts you. You're human. But if you have the audacity to come up in somebody's comments and
And make up the whole thing before
a
you know
can
it.
opener? That is rotten.
And then I see search can opener rain on TikTok. I'm like, they already categorized
Oh,
No,
it.
I hate that. I
yeah.
hate
Why?
that.
And I felt for that girl. I was like, let her have her unique moment. She's a unique
Oh,
girl.
Yeah.
Let her have her unique ring. Because
oh my
listen, not everyone
God.
can pull it off, but she can.
Girl, if
And
you're
that's
here, if
fine.
you're listening to, if you've stumbled upon us, you do not have a can opener ring. People
You're
are rotten.
you're gonna open your page, and the first one that's gonna come up is can opener.
Literally, oh my
Canberra.
God. No, that's so rotten. Oh my God.
I would feel. I mean, I would feel terrible. Like if someone like even like if it's like a personal friend of mine, I'm like, how dare you? Like that is my
That
best
is not
friend
a friend.
right there.
That is not a friend.
The number of people that have come up to me like, hey, I'm sorry to ask you this, but like, is it lab or is it natural? I'm like, that of course that is the question they're gonna ask me.
Yeah.
And obviously that's a huge conversation online that people are having. And that's another thing people are feeling pressured about. It's like, oh, but I want this, but also like, listen, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to spend your money on, whether it's
Yeah.
from the engagement ring to your wedding dress to your vendors to where you want to go on your honeymoon, that ball is in your court. That
Yeah.
is all in your lane. Yes, you could ask for advice and suggestions, but if you love something so much, don't ask anyone else's opinion on it because they might
Right.
crush it.
Right. I think that's a really good thing. And um, I think the pressure has just gotten out of control. And so that's such a good piece of advice. Like, if you fully love something and you are like, this is it, I know this is it, do not ask people because part of you is just seeking that human validation, but be excited. And, I could say to Maddie, hey, Maddie, I found my dream wedding venue and it's a little unconventional, but I love it. I don't need to ask. I just want her to be supportive versus what do you think? And maybe it is unconventional. I mean, I got married at the top of a mountain in a fucking my train was huge, but I did not care. I was like, I am traipsing through the forest. I do not care. I do not care what people think. This is what we're doing. But I didn't ask anybody because I'm sure people would have had something to say. Like, you had to get on a gondola. We went up. It was kind of the moment. But
Mhm.
Maddie, what would be your piece of advice as far as like a micro wedding? I know, it's a little maybe a little sore spot, but
Hmm. I
from
mean,
a
I think,
micro perspective, because you guys
yeah.
like you did you have this type of stress or you were just like, I'm not about the bullshit?
Well, I would say don't even worry about I I don't think giving micro wedding tips like really is helpful. I
Okay.
think giving the overall tip of do what you actually want because I did not want to plan a wedding because I didn't want the stress.
Yeah.
And there's kind of unless you pay someone to handle everything, there's kind of like no way to have a wedding without having some stress of making
Right.
decisions.
Oh
And
yeah.
like
Right.
besides obviously like marrying the wrong person, like the stress of like having to make decisions.
Yeah.
I did not enjoy my wedding day at all. I was worried about this, worried about that, things that didn't get done because they were not done. I didn't want to worry about them. So like I would say biggest advice is do what you actually want to do. And I
Yeah.
wish I would have done that, which was just elope and not have any of these decisions because that was more like I was on the phone in an argument. Well, not really argument, but like I visually remember or whatever the right word is being super annoyed driving to the venue and like my dad was telling me, well, someone didn't get this, someone didn't get that. I'm like, why am I
Why are
worried
you
about
telling
this?
the bride? Why are
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
asking the
I
bride
had
out of
no,
all people?
I was annoyed the entire day. So I would say do what you actually want to do, and besides the wrong person, but like I would have had so much more fun if I would have just done what I wanted to do and not try to appease everyone else in that situation. So that's my best advice. Do what you want to do.
That's a great place. That's a great place to wrap up because that if that is not true for this entire conversation, whether it's
Yeah.
about like finding the dress, finding the rings, finding the venues, how you want to feel on your wedding day. Like it is how you are going to feel the most yourself, the most confident, the less stressed you are, the better. And like, if you ever decide to get married again, you don't have to worry about a goddamn thing because like this, like no stress, like I am here to take the stress because there's one thing that like saved me through this process. Like my sister and like my bridesmaids, I could just be like, jump and they would say how high because I was like, I need help. And they carried that. And now I'm like, who wants to get married? Because I got you. Like I am equipped. I am ready. I've got
That's
this.
gonna be
I've
me.
got this because it is a lot. It's a lot of stress, but I'm so excited for you and it's going to be such an amazing experience. And you've already started it off with such a banger. Like you got to have this incredible experience. You found your dress. You had that like, are you saying yes to the dress
And I
moment?
cried.
Like
I didn't expect to cry because, like you said earlier,
yeah,
like, oh, like it's gonna be make me in pretty dresses. And then once you have it on, you're like, this
bald,
isn't just a dress.
bald.
It like you feel a different presence above you. You feel like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like I'm getting married.
Like I'm a bride.
I'm not dressing up, my little princess gowns anymore. Like I'm a
Yeah.
bride.
Oh,
And
Mhm.
there was one time where, so one thing I had to do was Flo told me this. She's like, at some point, you need to walk off that pedestal. Not as a no, but like, because that elevates it.
yes.
Once you step down, that it matters just as much as you get up and see it in front of
Yep.
everybody.
Yep.
And I had to do that
Mhm.
test. But I, as long as I ran everything through, that was, that sealed the deal for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
always say, bring a good entourage. Even if it's just your
Yeah.
mom and a sibling,
Hmm.
that's enough.
Yep.
Leave everybody else at home, especially making these videos now. I have seen a lot of horrible entourages and rude entourages. I understand it's a reality show, things happen,
Right.
but that does impact your experience, especially because you want to enjoy
Yeah.
it. It's the
Yeah.
most fun.
Mhm.
It's the fun. It's like that's supposed to be the funnest part of wedding planning. Why would you
Yeah.
let
Mhm.
someone else's vision of their day ruin yours? And that I'm so glad I had my little sister with me, and now she's engaged. And
Oh.
also,
Aw.
she's gonna do something very micro, very small. Like we're just probably gonna go to Cabo or something for like 30 people. And I'm gonna be her maid of honor. So it's gonna be like back and forth. I'm just gonna be right after I get married, and now it's her turn. But it's not as long as I know it's not gonna be the same kind of pressure I
Yeah.
had. And definitely going through this experience myself has just definitely made me a more patient person
Mm.
and just understanding like how this industry works and just how to be present.
Yeah.
So I already feel like I'm giving all the advice I could to other future brides.
Oh, I love it. And
Mhm.
now all of the future brides get to hear this and have a laugh and feel seen and heard. And I want them to follow the rest of this journey for you. So we're going to put all your info below in the show notes. But why don't you just tell the listeners where they can find you on TikTok, Instagram, wherever you're hanging out on social media? They need to absolutely see the video of like you and Flo. So let's tell them.
Okay, so if you want to see me talk about Where Are They Now from your favorite reality TV shows, follow me at Secret Stan Gabby on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. I did start cross-posting because somebody was stealing my content. So I had to
No.
expand. And yeah, so people were saying like, "Oh, I thought you were just on TikTok." No, I'm everywhere now because
Yeah.
it's one thing, to take my video of my Where Are They Now?
Yeah.
Fully just like copy paste it, post it as your own. It's another to take the video of me getting engaged and trying on dresses. That's
Yeah, it's
another level.
crazy.
Yucky. That's gross.
So if you can't find me on there, you can find me anywhere else. And I will be cross-posting on my other accounts on my beauty coma, which is from our previous episode. And if you have not listened to that, go check that out.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much for coming back. This is
Thank you so
so
much for
fun.
having me.
We
We
love
gotta
a
do like
friend of
another,
show.
we gotta do like a 6-month follow-up, like post-wedding and
Yes,
see what happens.
girl, yes, a post-wedding episode so we can really tie the loop because when you came on, you had gotten engaged. Now we're talking about wedding planning. So we are going to need a post-wedding episode. But this has
Absolutely.
been so awesome. You guys go check out Gavriella's series. Go check out her videos for wedding planning if you are in this process. My bridal era is done. Well, we are
But it's fun to
sad,
look back on. It's
but
fun to
now
look
we're
back
living
on.
through yours, and that's amazing. All
Uh,
right. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming.
you. You guys have a good rest
Bye.
of your day. Bye.